All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Zoom call tonight. And this broadcast is going out all around the world. We're excited to have everyone here, and/or if you're listening to the recording, we welcome you. You're here to hear tonight about an opportunity with a company called Isagenix that's set to explode, go from small to big faster than ever. We are so fired up about it. A little bit about our background. My husband and I have been in this industry now for a long time, 20 years in the industry. When we were introduced to Isagenix, we had a set of criteria that needed to be in place in order for us to do this again. And so we're actually losing hope we'd ever see a company we'd put our name to again. We had evaluated and looked into so many different companies and had kept our eyes open. We had gotten to the top of a company that today is doing well, but we found that it wasn't duplicating the way that we wanted it to duplicate. So what happened was we were looking around and seeing that people weren't being able to have the success that we were having. And so what happened was, I can't tell you you can have success if in fact that wasn't what we were seeing. So I said to my husband, you know what, we need to leave this. I can't tell another person about this. Even though we were making money, others weren't. And what had happened was at that point in time, it started to become where we were prospected and propositioned into so many different things. And, then we started to realize that in order for us to save time, because we're not one to be flying all over, we have 5 kids at home. We were homeschooling at the time we were introduced to this opportunity. I started to realize, and my husband started to realize, we came up with a set criteria that was necessary in order for us to take advantage of another opportunity in this industry. And so we want to talk about that here tonight. I want to release anybody that's here tonight for 2 reasons, because I can't ask for a show of hands. I could, but for the sake of time, I'll just say, because we're not together in one room, some people come to this opportunity and they're looking for a way to make some extra money. They really are. They're looking to hit a financial home run even. And there's the criteria that my husband and I will go over shortly. As we go through that, it's going to help you to evaluate, and then we're going to tell you about why this is the greatest opportunity on the planet, bar none. And you can put any opportunity up against the criteria and be able to evaluate that yourself. But then there's other people who come to the table. They want to hear about a way to get healthy, get well. Maybe you've been invited here to listen to this, and you're looking for a way where you can have better immunity, better sleep. Maybe you want to lose 5 to 20 pounds in the next couple of weeks without dieting. I'm not sure what it is that you're here for, but usually people come for one of those 2 reasons. And I want to release those that aren't here to hear about the money. You don't have to be. And the others, you're going to hear about the program. You're going to want to know about the products. But the truth is we know that people come for 2 reasons. We know that we're probably not going to cover every piece of every aspect and answer every possible question that you may have. So I want to assure you that we're going to do our darndest to cover as much as we can on those topics and keep it to a reasonable amount of time. And then at the end, I want to encourage you to get back with whomever invited you to this broadcast so that you can ask them your specific questions and make sure that you have all the information to make an informed choice of what to do. If you're here for the products, the fastest way, I'm just going to tell you straight up to find out if they're real. We're going to talk about them a little bit here tonight. Find out if they're real, put them in your system. Your body will tell you, because I'm going to tell you right now, people look different within days and they feel different within days. We have so many people who are being transformed on this program. I want to kind of talk about both. Our story, we were very skeptical, looked for so many different companies had approached us through the years, and when this one came along, I started to get excited. I was looking at the criteria. The company is set. It's stable. The owners understand this industry. This is the number 1 criteria. The owners understand the industry. Well, Jim Coover took a company to $1 billion back from the early 80s in a very short amount of time. His wife, Kathy, has been at the top of 3 of these companies out in the field, so she knows what it's like to be out here doing what we do. So this is very important. I won't get into why, but we will. You'll learn all this. And then the second criteria is the products need to be consumable. Unique is a bonus factor. Look, you can't find what we have anywhere. We'll talk about that in a second. Emotional is a home run. We have people, like I said before, look different within days, feel different within days. They're losing 5 to 20 pounds of fat in their first couple of weeks. This isn't even a diet. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about this. It's just putting your body into a proper environment where it's getting high-test nutrition, the highest caliber nutrition, the most nutritious thing you can put into your body in a nutrient-dense form where your body is saying thank you. I heard a doctor say every cell in your body says thank you when you take this in your system, coupled with a very necessary element of cellular cleansing. I challenge people, show me something better on the marketplace today, and I'll stop saying this is the highest quality, most absorbable nutritional on the face of the planet. No one comes back and shows me something better because there isn't anything out there better. It's amazing. And you do eat normal food on this program too, by the way. I'm going to skim back, but I'll come back around to the products. I want to elaborate a little bit there. The third criteria, though, is the compensation plan. It needs to be lucrative and it needs to be simple. The average person can do this. We have so many examples of people who are making lots of money. Even people who are just making a couple extra $1,000 a week or a month who've never done this before, to people who've replaced six-figure incomes who've never done this before, around their very busy lifestyles, or housewives who's replaced even their husband's incomes. So we have so many examples of that. We'll talk about that. Very simple, very lucrative. The fourth criteria is training and support. We offer full-time training and support every Monday through Friday in a half hour to an hour conference call, and with calls such as this, we're helping people understand and get really sound bites of information to help you understand what this industry is and what it isn't. Because a lot of people have a misconception to what this is. This is the greatest industry in the world, bar none. If you can find the right company at the right time with the right products, with all of these criteria, it will set you free. And it's so exciting because we're helping so many people physically, financially, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually. Just an all-around phenomenal way to do what we do. And most people do it in the pockets of their life. And as their income starts to match or replace their full-time incomes, then they consider this full-time. So there's no risk. The fifth criteria is the timing, which we want to talk about that too. Very excited about the timing. And I want to make sure my husband here, yes, you are unmuted. Fabulous. So we'll be able to go back and forth. Herbie, as I share our story, I'll come back around. I'll talk maybe a little bit about the products. And then I want you to really hit the timing. So let me just tell you where we come from. I have a master's in special ed. My husband is a state trooper in New York State Police. We were introduced to this industry. We realized, and I share this because I want you to realize where you might be, and maybe there's a reason that you would be looking for something else. We actually realized that our career choices were going to take us in completely opposite directions. Different hours, different shifts, danger in his job. And this industry came our way, and I was very skeptical. But the more I looked at it, the more I said, what if? What if it's true? What if the possibility is there that people are making this kind of money part-time and replacing their full? What if I could do this? Because I really didn't like the fact that I wasn't able to see my husband that much. He was working opposite shifts and all of the danger, etc. Well, that what if turned into something that was huge, and it set us free. He was able to resign from the state police. I left teaching, and this is, I'm going to tell you, the greatest industry in the world. However, as we left the first company and had our ups and downs, because that's what happened. We did not come upon this company right away. So, and it's like, oh my goodness, if you're familiar with this industry, welcome home, because every criteria is in place that you can feel confident that you're home, you're welcome home. You'll never have to do it again. And what happened for us is we got on the program because the criteria were good, and on paper the product looked good, although I looked like a diet to me because people were losing weight so quickly, and I'm dead against dieting. So I looked into the product a little bit more. Ordered, I got it in. I'm the type of person that has to try something, knowing it's 100% money back guaranteed, because if it doesn't work and it doesn't taste good, it's going back. I cannot tell you about it. I can't talk about it, right? And that's what this is. It's all word of mouth. And what happened was we ended up losing 4%, and my husband and I both, 4 percentage points in body fat in our first couple of weeks. He lost 4 inches of his waist. He went from a 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist. I lost 4% body fat, 19 inches. There's 14 spots on the body that you measure. 19 inches off my body. We were already fit, athletic. I couldn't believe it. But it wasn't all that. It was mostly because of how I felt. I felt phenomenal. And at that point, we started to share it with other people. All the criteria were set. The products worked. And everyone we got on the program were having results. big time results. People were losing 5 to 20 pounds in their first couple of weeks without dieting. It's not even a diet. And the reason for that is because it's the highest quality nutrition. So it's putting your body into a state where it starts to become more alkalized, meaning your pH needs to be more alkaline, but most people are extremely acidic in this country based on the fact that we eat dead food as a general statement. We eat very dead food. And as a result of that, our bodies in this country, and we've done this, we're measuring, it's very measurable, thousands of people over the years, because we're so into health and nutrition. Everyone's acidic. And what that means is your body is in a state of disease. Where disease festers, cancer thrives. This program is actually allowing your body to receive high quality nutrition, and your body starts to become more alkaline, placing it into an environment with this type of nutrition to cleanse cellularly. And what does that mean? Cleansing cellularly is not a bowel movement cleanse, but what it does is it actually addresses toxicity. We live in an extremely toxic world. The air, the water, the food, the pesticides, the stuff we're putting on our skin and hair. There was actually a study done where they found 287 known toxins in the umbilical cords of brand newborns. Guys, it's like you're born into this toxicity, the jet fuel, I mean, go on and on. And the truth is, it's undisputable. But the liver is the organ that's supposed to cleanse, but it's overloaded. The overage gets into the cells at the cellular level. What happens there is the defense mechanism, if a toxin enters the cell, is to pull a little fat or a little water to coat that toxin or impurity so it doesn't damage the cell. It's not relinquishing that fat because it's a defense mechanism. This program actually helps to pull. Your body is put in a position where you start to cleanse that out. The body relinquishes the toxin and thereby it relinquishes the fat. That's the reason people are dropping body fat. It's a side benefit. Other beautiful things, better mental clarity, better energy, sleep like a baby, all of that. But the reason I mentioned toxicity and fat loss is because I want people to understand from a business perspective, 87% of the population is overweight. 33% of that 87% is considered obese. We're at epidemic proportions, and it's just seemingly getting worse. And I want people to rest assured, yes, it does involve what we're eating and all these types of things, but it's also about addressing toxicity. So this is a program that's doing that. People are actually finding themselves just feeling phenomenal, looking better than ever, and that's why it's been extremely emotional. When you couple that with some of the trends, like for us to lose 4 percentage points of body fat, we have a measurable Tanita body comp machine, which is a commercial grade. We had like 7 years prior to being introduced to this. We had never seen this type of fat loss before. And guess what? Everyone that gets on the program has those types of results. So you really have nothing to lose here but fat. And you know what? It's not about just fat loss, meaning people that need to lose weight, because maybe you want to put on weight, but even the world-class athletes, because we're working with more people who are in that realm. And even at 4% body fat, when they go into an MRI machine, you'll see a halo. They're finding a halo around internal organs. And that is called visceral fat. We had Dr. Paul Asiero on our call on Monday. He is a world-renowned, separate from, nothing to do with Isagenix, but he is an outside source researcher and scientist who found and did the studies. And by the way, when he did the studies and was hired by the corporation to do these studies to see if this addresses visceral fat, he didn't have any hopes it was going to work. He'll say that himself. He also was very impressed with Isagenix because what he found was most companies sign something called a last right of refusal, meaning that if the studies come out and they don't give the results that the company would want out because it goes to every university in the country, then they have a last right of refusal clause that they can sign. Isagenix did not sign that. He was so impressed. You can get your hands on and listen to the recording of that from Monday. Amazing. There's just study after study that next to the heart healthy diet, we are above everything out there while you're able to eat live nutrition, good nutrition, and you're eating normal food. You're changing your body. Now, let's talk about how we can turn that into an income stream and some of the trends and the timing that are really propelling us in that direction. So to help me do that, we have Herb on here. Let me go ahead and, yep, you're Uh-oh, let me unmute you. Hi. Can I hear you?
Talking.
Okay, great. Well, welcome.
Thank you. You did a great job. When I'm thinking about it, what can we say? What can we say that can make people understand the magnitude of an opportunity like this? And I got to tell you, what networking is and what Isagenix has become, we're labeling it the great equalizer. I mean, you do not have to have a PhD or be a corporate CEO to make the type of money and even more money than those types of people are making. So it takes the average person and gives them the opportunity to really make some unbelievable income. I mean, where else in the world can people make $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 per week and more unless they're with something that's expansive and it's growing? You know, since we've started this venture, several people, not just a few, several on our team alone have made over $1 million. But there's countless people on the team who are supplementing their income by a few extra $100 a week, maybe a few extra $1,000 a week. You know, we believe we've got our hands on the mother lode, and we think we've got the inside track of what's going on in this industry. You see, this industry has gone from a cottage-based industry to mainstream. People are starting to figure out that, you know, with technology and the advancement of technology, with the internet, social media, platforms like we're on right now, that we can literally share information with millions of people effectively in a very short amount of time. Years ago, it used to take us years, 4 or 5 years, to get a piece of information to 1 million people. Today, it takes 4 or 5 days to get a piece of information to 1 million people. And it's because of that technological explosion that's on us right now that's making this industry, you know, the industry that people are not only listening to and evaluating and, you know, getting an understanding of, but our company is the company that many of these professional people are choosing to go with. Why? Because we have something that's in demand. You see, we don't have to create the demand with very little competition. Everybody wants to be healthier, lose fat, gain lean tissue, be harder, tighter, sexier, you know, sleep better, have better mental clarity. Most people will understand today that nutrition is 99% of the game. Interesting little thing that happened to me today. I'm driving back and forth. I'm at a baseball tournament here at Phoenix, Arizona. Driving back and forth with a wonderful man. He is an agent for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. He's an FBI agent, and so very conservative. Does very well. Has a career in government. Very, you know, just really good family and stuff like that. Stay-at-home wife, but they're looking for a way to make income. I mean, you're talking about one of the most secure jobs out there, and he's saying, Herb, my wife and I have been looking for a long time for a viable way that makes sense for us to supplement our income. And I gave him some examples of some people who are on this call tonight of how their lives were changed in a very short amount of time. He couldn't believe it. He asked me personally, how much do you and your wife make? And I told him, and he just looked at me with a stare like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, no, this is big business. If you find the right company at the right time and position yourself ahead of an explosion that'll take place. That's exactly where we are right now with Isagenix. We're a 15-year-old company run by people who know the industry, run by people who understand business. We're squeaky clean. We're not a little mom and pop operation. You can go right down the road here in Gilbert, Arizona, and see that we have a facility, a home office that is to die for many corporations. We've expanded over the last 10 years from a few hundred now to a few thousand employees, and we continue to engage in our international expansion, which is very, very exciting. And so if you're one of those people who's living a life of quiet desperation, maybe praying to God at night, God, please send something into my life that makes sense, that can change our financial situation, I'm going to encourage you, do some homework. Maybe get on the phone with the person who invited you to this call this evening. Ask them, ask them a few questions. There's certainly a website that you can go to if you're new to see some videos to explain what the products do for people, what our business opportunity is all about. That website is www.bsetfreelife.com. It's just a bunch of videos. You can go there, have a good time, and just hear because hearing will cause you to realize whether or not there's anything of interest here. And if there's not, thank you for joining us here this evening. But for many of you, I'm sure you're going to see something that'll push a button. And you'll say to yourself, is this real? And I got to tell you, it's real. It's so real, in fact, that in a couple weeks, Patty and I are going to be gathering in Charlotte, North Carolina with a lot of you and a lot of other people who are flying in for a 3-day in-depth experience of what Isagenix is all about. And I guarantee you the people who are going to be there are going to have their lives changed forever, especially if it's their first event. And so we're excited about that. And we're excited to be on a team led by, fireballs like Patty, my wife, which I've always told Patty she's one of the greatest networkers in the world, but it might be, seem biased because I'm her husband, but, I recognize that it takes raw, authentic enthusiasm to do this effectively. You can be the most educated person in the world. If you lack desire and enthusiasm, it's really going to be hard to pass that on to somebody else. But if you're authentically enthusiastic about what you have, and you can show people an environment to put them in where they can duplicate the process, heck, most people on this line really don't have to do anything outside of talking to other people. That's, they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is introduce them to what's going on here. Maybe send them to that website I just gave you. Invite them to engage in the culture that we have. We have daily calls that go on. We have gatherings that go on. We have corporate gatherings that go on. Once they get into that culture and that environment, they'll start to feel something that can't be expressed on a platform like this. There's sometimes you need to be in the thick of it to realize that we have the mother lode. And I think we have the mother lode right now. We're going to go from small to big. It's taken us 15 years to get to $1 billion a year. That's a huge statement because very few of these companies do it. But you know what? It doesn't stop there. Those of us who are in the company and in the know, we realize that we have the potential to double that. What's taken us 15 years to do, we certainly have the potential to duplicate that and do $2 billion a year within the next 36 to 48 months. That's what we're excited about. That's why we're coming to you live. We're hoping that you can just get it into you to at least pick up the phone after a conference like this, get in touch with the person who gave you this phone number, be a little inquisitive, ask them for more information. Or if you're the type of person like we are that says, you know what, it does make sense. Let me try the product. There's a full 100% money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Try them, and I believe you'll fall in love with what we have. Patty, back to you.
Yeah, that's the truth. They are amazing. And the thing I want to point out too is that, companies go through different stages of growth. And right now we are about to hit a point in time, or I feel we've just about hit that point where they go from unknown or obscure to popular, where people say, like we were hearing, ISO what? Excuse me, to I don't know what that is. I don't want it, to I've got to have it. And people are starting to look because we validated ourselves, and there's hearing of different testimonials. I mean, guys, it's amazing what happens if we would just take care of this vehicle of our body. So we validated ourselves with the products and the stories that are out there. And now, of course, we've also validated ourselves with the money stories, because even our former nanny, Audrey, is now Audrey McLeod. She was Audrey Moss when she was working with us. She met her husband here in the business, but she'll take home over $300,000 this year at 26 years old. And she didn't even want to do this, but that's some fast forwarding after she had a product encounter in her early 20s, made a decision. This is the type of income that's available. Another neighbor of ours with 3 small children at home, Jessica, who you'll hear from in one of these upcoming Zooms, Jessica Johnson, has made over $1 million with this in 2.5 years, making now over $1 million a year. This is residual income with 3 small children at home, and had never done anything like this in her life. And I love to share these stories because, I mean, both of them were like, I'm not telling anybody about this. I'm just going to use it. I'm not telling anybody about it. I'm like, all right, don't tell anybody. But you know what happens is that you can't. And these companies decided to take it to the end consumers. Instead of spending millions and millions of dollars in advertising, they decided to utilize this word of mouth marketing. And what happens is now we're paid that income of the millions and millions of dollars that they don't pay in advertising. They're putting into us. We're the advertising arm. They also knew, it's very strategic, that, and it's the most powerful form of marketing that there is. When we like something, we share it. We can't even help it. You go to a good movie, you tell people. You go to a good restaurant, you tell people. Here, they track it all, and there's only 2 teams that build. We can get into more specifics on that. The person who invited you can show you this, but it's so simple that people are making money quickly. And we also, like I said earlier, have created this environment of training and support where you can actually, in sound bites of information, learn how we do what we do. You could sit back, get healthy, feel fantastic, and all the while start getting on the morning calls. On this team, we offer this exclusive environment that is just really, it's just helping so many people get from, I don't know about this, to they take it, they have a product encounter and experience, to, wow, I don't know if I not really believing in themselves maybe, to a point where they start to realize, man, I've got to tell people. It's almost like you're walking through the children's cancer ward with the cure for cancer in your pocket. You're not going to tell people. That's kind of how you feel here. You start to realize that you have something that can help everybody. Everybody. It's really a rare bird. It's rare. Can't even think of, I'm scraping to think of anyone that this hasn't helped. And so we can't be due to the FDA. The FDA says the only thing they can claim to cure or heal anything must be labeled a drug. We're not a drug, so we have to say that the body is the miracle here. All Isagenix is doing is placing our body, putting into our body, making an environment for it to become the miracle that it is, which it's designed to heal itself, rejuvenate itself, and regenerate itself, and protect itself. This program is allowing it to work within those confines, and it's just unbelievable how it flourishes. And as a result, you can't not tell people. Well, you can't control that. And we have example after example after example of people that are just being paid be out of control money because they just opened their mouth. So we encourage you to join the atmosphere, the environment. It's a team. It feels like a family. We're having fun, and we do it in a classy way. This is very classy, the approach we take, how we teach you to work this thing. And just as Herb indicated earlier, with the internet and everybody carrying these around, unbelievable how quickly this type of information can be disseminated. So please do get back in touch with whomever invited you to this call tonight. Oh, I want to just say, we do have, let me just tell you, we have free enrollments tonight. By the way, this operates like a Sam's Club or a Costco or a BJ's, how you pay an annual fee so you can go into the brick and mortar store and purchase at the wholesale, at the consumer, the wholesale club price, right? That's all this is. It's a $39 annual fee that now, instead of a brick and mortar, you have an online store. And we have nutritionals. Go to the website. Somebody will give you, normally we have a slideshow and show you all this. But you know what? If you just go to the website, you'll see that we have nutritionals and shakes and meal replacements and all sorts of amped. It's our amped sports line. Oh my goodness, if you're an athlete, you're going to love this. But you know what? Bars, I mean, you can go on and on. Energy, but it's all of the good, none of the bad. There's no hydrogenated oils, no high fructose corn syrup, no fake sugar, no soy, no corn. Unreal nutrition for your body. So you go to the website, you can buy a wholesale. Tonight, what I wanted to tell you is there is a free enrollment, meaning they waive that fee if you order over 150 points of product, which you're going to need to, and again, we set you up for success. Just get back in touch with who invited you so they can help you set up for success, and you'll be waived. Your enrollment fee is waived. The coupon code is COOVER, COOVER. That's the coupon code for tonight. Make sure you go ahead and get that going. Remember, that's for tonight and tonight only until midnight. If you wanted to get your enrollment fee waived, do it now. There's nothing to lose, like I said earlier. I want to thank everybody for coming to the call tonight, and I hope this helped get at least an introduction for you. I hope it helped answer some questions. Do get back with whomever invited you and get your questions answered. God bless everybody. Let's give a wave. We'll see everybody on the morning training calls, and have a nice evening.